Hello, everybody. My name's Sam, and I'm going to be talking about Glocks. Before we start touching and manipulating them, I want to explain that all of these are clearance safe. There is magazines right here, but all of them have no ammunition. So as I manipulate these firearms, understand that there is no ammo. The weapons are pointed in a safe direction. There is nothing behind me. All right, let's get right into it. These are Glocks. Gaston Glocks, gift to the world, if you would. These are arranged from compact, kind of specific use, and then I would say standard size. Calibers, all of these are 9 except 40. I'll explain that later. Don't you dare just click off because there's 40 mentioned, okay? Calm your fucking self. Today, plain and simple, is going to be, are they worth it? And just the overall conversation around Glocks. I know in the gun community, I've heard everything from amazing, immaculate reviews to the most negative, I hate these fucking guns situations ever, or like plastic pieces of shit. You hear that often, and that's fine. I would classify that kind of feedback coming from a FUD, so is what it is. However, everybody's got valid criticism and concern coming from their own personal experiences. So let's go into them. On the table, what we have over here on the left, we got a Glock 48. What is a Glock 48? A Glock 48 is going to come with a single stack 10 round 9mm, or in the 43, it's going to be I believe, 8 round 9mm single stack magazine. It is their slim profile. So as we hold this next to a Glock 17, as you can tell, it's thinner. Out of the box, it just comes frame, everything, 2 magazines, cleaning kit, for standard Glock kind of setup. What have I done to this one? Well, I have upgraded the internals and the trigger springs. I have changed the actual contact point for the trigger so it's a little bit lighter and smoother. I've upgraded and added these shield arms flared mag well, as well as a shield arms extended and metal mag release. And why do I have that? Well, it's because I have 15 round metal magazines. I've now made this weapon have the same carrying capacity as a standard Glock 19 without any kind of extension or anything. The frame fits my hand pretty well. I would say medium to large size hands, and excellent. I think glove size 9 on my hand, so use that however you want to use it. So carrying this pistol, I like it. To explain the clip, I'll do that later at the end because I don't know. It's always a point of contention. For the light, I got the TLR 6, and that comes with a white light setting as well as a white light plus laser, and then white light plus laser that is not showing up. Maybe it will if I zoom out enough. No. All right. How do I feel about the TLR 6? I like it. Why do I have a laser? Plain and simple, one sentence response. I'm using this in very close distances, and I have set it so that I point the laser and I pull the trigger, and it's on sight at around 25 to 30 feet, the farthest point in my own house. So, all right, explanation done for that. I'm going to set it to the side. The trigger is cocked, however, again, like I said, there is no ammunition. A little more verification there. Click. All right. Next up, we have the Glock 19 Gen 4. You can tell this is a Gen 4 because it's got the, well, it would have the different actual grip. Well, these, could have just pointed to this, that. And on top of that, it's got the 2 position for the trigger and the everything that's holding it in instead of the 1 which is on the 5s, and then also the Gen 1. So the Gen 4, this one is a 19. This used to be my carry piece. When I did carry it, I did not have the flashlight on it. I did also run it with the clip. So I also got Ameriglo sights. I did a bunch of trigger modifications. I did the same thing to the trigger bar as I said with the 48. I like this. I love it a lot. It's pretty much standard. Everything else, the mag release is standard. And yeah, we'll move on to the next one. This is the Glock 34. That one was also clear. I know I didn't clear it the same way. I use this for competition shooting. I have done all the spring upgrades, done the same thing to the trigger. I've also kind of sanded out and smoothed off the trigger. So it's small things, but you notice it when you're shooting. For the sights, I have a Zev adjustable sights. I also got a Zev, Jesus, extended mag release. Also on the Gen 4, I have the extended slide release, as you can tell on this one. And yeah, I only have these on the Gen 4 because it's only got one side. It's not ambi, and I don't know, I like it. Moving on, we got a Gen 5 Glock 17. Oh man, I can never get this right. There you go. There's no ammo in there, nothing, and it's pretty clean. If you're watching the clean episode, this was the second gun I cleaned. I like it. It's standard. Again, though, Ameriglo, front sight and rear sight. I got a bunch of trigger, spring, housing, and everything upgraded. Outside of that, it's standard. Yeah, moving on. This is my Glock 22. This is the 40 caliber one. This is a 22 Gen 5 MOS. So the MOS has the already, cut in slide cut. And I also have some raised sights that raise the actual rear sight to be in line through the window of the red dot sight. I like it. I know I forgot to talk about. I'm all over the place, but I know I forgot to talk about TLR1S Streamlight. It's a good white light because it doesn't absolutely obliterate what you're looking at. TLR1 HL, this one is like obliterating what you're looking at. However, it gives you the maximum amount of light. Love it. No problem. On top, we got a Trojcon RMR. Overkill completely for anything. Honestly, it's amazing optic. I have no complaints. The window's a little small, but other than that, I love it. And I got one MOA on the red dot there. For the internals, are as the other ones, springs are all adjusted. Everything's different. Trigger bar is adjusted. Not an extended mag release, not an extended slide release. Flared mag well with a, I believe this was mag pull for the Gen 5 systems. Outside of that, yeah, it's pretty standard. All right. What does a standard Glock come with? Depends, but if you bought a standard Glock, you're going to get the Glock. It comes standard. The sights, here are standard sights. They look like that. The Glock standard sights, as well as it comes with 3 magazines usually. 17-round magazines if it's a 9mm, and 15-round magazines if it is a 40mm, or, oh, Jesus, not 40mm, 40 caliber. It comes with a cleaning kit and a locking device, as well as a plastic hard case. Glocks are anywhere from $550 to around $800. So anything in that range is a Glock. All right. Plain and simple, you may have noticed that every single one of these has an upgrade on it. Does that mean the gun comes standardly broken or without what you want? I mean, kind of. The trigger has complaints from people, and that's fine. There's videos diagnosing why you shoot different with a Glock than you do anything else. And, to briefly summarize those, the grip angle is different on top of that. European-style guns aim with your thumb, not your trigger. Whereas most American guns aim with the trigger. That's a whole thing. It's deep. I'm not fucking going into it. You figure it out, do your own research. As for Glocks, they're good, man. I don't know. Out of the box, I would say 6 to 7 out of 10. You get what you get. You get a used one that doesn't come with anything. I bought this Gen 4, and it quite literally just came standard everything. And one Glock 15-round magazine. Yes, for the compact ones, it comes with a 15-round 9mm. This one, this is the actual Magpul magazines. I only have that because I'm pretty sure I lost the one. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, here's the one Glock 15 round magazine I have. So you get what you pay for. They're worth it. If you're gonna carry it, I don't know what to tell you other than it's it's just what it is, man. It's a Glock, same as a lot of pistols nowadays. Once you get it, it comes with a few magazines, maybe a cleaning kit, instructions, and a locking device, plastic case, maybe. They're worth it. You're gonna pick up a used one. Hopefully, you're paying less than 500 or less than 600, as I did in this case. But if not, unfortunately, gun prices look like it's going to continue to increase. As for what I do to every single Glock, that's a long story. But I usually get a Zev trigger kit that comes with the springs, everything, and I completely change the springs inside the weapon. That lightens up the trigger by about 3 pounds. The smoothing off of the trigger bar is something that I'll say there's probably videos on how to do it. If you're going to do it, be smart, and know that every little bit of material you take off is going to have massive amounts of adjustment to your firearm, potentially making it extremely loose and extremely light triggers, which could then obviously lead to an ND, negligent discharge. So be careful and do research before you do any kind of modification like that. For the sights, I pretty much always put some sort of a little bit raised sight, and I like the dot on dot. The dot on dot, as you can see, is my favorite. This one doesn't dot on dot, but it's dot 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 like like most standard sights. This one has nothing on it, but that's mostly because I am relying on the actual dot, and this is a backup. Let me see if I can line it up like that. So, yeah. Oh man, these are all over the place now. Let me see if I can do something cool. Anyways, they're worth it. At the end of the day, if you could get one, they're about the right price. If you could go and find a brand new one for about $5.99 or $6.50, I would say that's worth it. Are they actually worth that much? No. If there was some right in the world, they would be worth about $4.99. With the amount of upgrades you do just off the bat, $4.99, $500 would be reasonable. But not everyone does that. A lot of people keep them standard, and a lot of people in law enforcement who have to use these usually put OEM trigger, OEM everything. The OEM upgrades aren't bad. They're not. You're going to get the same stuff you get. The only difference is with an OEM upgrade such as like a trigger, you're limited versus you go market, aftermarket, dude, you could find anything and everything you want and make an absolute killer of a pistol, or you could turn this thing into a negligent discharge machine. There was a Glock that came into a shop I was working at that had maybe a quarter of an ounce trigger, and long story short, the customer brought the Glock in because he loaded it at the range. he like tapped it, and then it fired full auto. Well, it ran. It wasn't really true full auto, and ran through all of its magazine. So it was a really fun gun for a few seconds, but not good. Don't do that. ND machine, if you were going to carry that, imagine if you had loaded it up, put it in your pants, and then you gently shifted it, and then you shot yourself. So that's not worth it. Be careful. All right. Quality out of the box. Dude, Glock, you have to give them credit. They're quality masters. Out of the box, it's good. No complaints. Like, if there is anything wrong with your Glock, they're pretty reasonable to talk to. If you ever have a malfunction that's critical and blows up the gun, call them. Send it to them. Most places will, most of the time, they'll fight. They will. But they did it. I've seen them do it a lot of times. Just contact them, send it in, talk to them, tell them what happened. Sometimes you'll have to pay for it, but I do know another customer who had fired a Glock that had a Bubba's hot load and absolutely detonated the slide and popped out the frame and just warped it and had a lot of dents and problems in it. He sent it to Glock. Glock charged him, I think, $200, and they destroyed his frame and gave him a new one and gave him a new everything. So it was actually serialized Glock lower, and he had a new lower. Got it back. Everything was working fine. They ran it through their tolerances and tests, and it passed. So I got no complaints there from Glock. Now with Gaston Glock passing as of last year in 2023, it's very disappointing to hear because, you know, it's a legend in the firearm community. His original design has gone on this far. It's a very beautiful and simple design. Sad to see him go, and I hope that Glock does one thing right, which is if you're going to do another fucking generation of pistols, do research and find out what people actually like and go from there. I don't like some of their weird hybrids they have going on. I think they're just kind of fucking horrible. And they're just weird. Like, there's one that comes with the slide that has this at the bottom. So it has a 17 length slide, but on the 19. So you get like that much more. And I had somebody put it to me like this. If you found out this extra 1/4 inch helped maintain like a level flight distance and helps improve accuracy at 150 yards, would you really want it? Does it matter? What do you shoot? Are you shooting 150 yards with this? No. Just plain and simple. So I don't know. I don't like that. I get it. Why do I have a Glock 48? Again, where I was, I found it for $399, so I bought it instantly, and it's excellent ever since. You're gonna notice something about me through my videos. I don't like paying full price for stuff, especially firearms. I only do it if I really want it or if it's something that's worth it. A lot of times, I personally believe the firearm market has been completely inflated to have firearm prices double or triple what they're actually worth. Anyways, that's my Glock conversation. If this is your too long, didn't read, you skip to the end to figure this out. Personally, I think Glocks are worth it. Good guns. If I had a personal rating scale, it'd be a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 5. Just because all the aftermarket parts are out there. Anything you want this to be, you can do. Any color under the sun, you can put it on there and get it, and it's going to be pretty solid. Only complaints, of course, is I wish it came with it out of the box. It's really fucking annoying that a lot of the stuff doesn't. It's not there. All right. Anyways, thank you so much. There's definitely stuff I missed or could have gone over, so expect a part 2 of the Glock conversation, the Glockening, or something like that. All right. Thank you so much, and let's get blinded.